Last time on Improv Tabletop, we followed the continuing adventures of our Hogwarts heroes, Greya the House Elf, Groop the Troll, and Danuary the American exchange student. After an unfortunate death of Neville Longbottom at the slug-eating tournament, they all reconvened in Dumbledore's office where he told them, don't worry, that was just a Neville simulacrum. And yes, I realize that simulacrum is a 7th level spell, and its clone that's the 8th level spell. Don't at me, guys. So they talked with Dumbledore, and they were like, you know what? Snape and Mad-Eye are both problems. Let's get rid of both of them. So they went out, but before they decided to confront Mad-Eye and Snape, they decided, let's get the Marauder's map by stealing it from Harry Potter. So Groop created a distraction in the Gryffindor common room with his wonderful sleight of hand and misdirection, while Greya and Danuary stole the Marauder's map and the invisibility cloak and a bunch of manga and Pocky. After reconvening, they went into the room of requirement to finalize their plans. They're like, okay, we'll snap a dead Neville body into their office to frame them for the death of this person. They decided to test it on a cat and accidentally ended up with Mrs. Norris. And as they were leaving the room of requirement, they heard the voice of Argus Filch coming from around the corner asking where his pretty kitty was. What's going to happen? Are they going to get caught by Filch? Let's find out here in the world of Dumbledore's Delinquents. What's shaking, everybody? You're listening to Improv Tabletop, the Fate RPG actual play where we make up everything on the spot. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and today I'm joined by...
Miss McKenna, seasonally depressed.
Justin Porter. What, squirrel?
Connor James Wood, incapable of hearing JP.
Did you push to talk, JP?
I did. Did you not hear me?
I cannot hear JP.
We cannot hear a thing, my boy.
Well, it's recording.
It's hopefully just an issue with Discord.
This is all staying in the episode.
Someone say this would upset the pacing, but I think it's artistic.
I think it's perfect.
Do you want to hang up and call us back? My IT knowledge dictates that you always turn it off and back on. JP, just use sign for this one.
Can you hear me now?
Yes!
Indeed. All right, and the gang's all here.
Guess who's back? Back.
So, you guys are on the run from Argus Filch. He's coming around the corner, and I think this is a good time to bring out the rules in Fate Condensed for a contest.
Ooh.
Now, the whole shtick with a contest is you have 2 or more sides that are in direct opposition, but you're not trying to hurt each other. So we've got some goals for each group. Filch's goal is to catch you guys, and your goal is to not get caught by Filch. So we're going to have you guys roll against each other. You guys are going to take your action, then Filch is going to take his action. You're going to roll against each other to see who succeeds, and the first team to get to 3 victories is the winner in this contest. So, what would you guys like to do to escape from Filch?
Well, throw the cat the opposite direction of where we're going. But like,
you
not
want
in
it?
like,
Go get it!
get your cat! No, not in like a, I don't want to hurt the cat. Don't let me hurt the cat.
We could use magic on it to throw it somewhere safely.
You're too small to pick up that cat. Let me get it. And I pick up the cat and I throw it.
All right.
Safely.
Yeah, we did explicitly agree during the last episode that we were not going to hurt any cats. So Mrs. Norris will not get hurt by this. It's just a matter of how well do you guys use it as a distraction. So the way that teamwork works in Fate is when you're all working as a group, this is going to be a forceful move. So the one of you that has the highest forceful approach, we're going to have you roll, and then each person who's assisting can add +1, as long as you also have at least a +1 in forceful.
I have a +2.
+2.
That's +1.
All right, so yeah, we'll have group throw it, and you get a +2 for each of those, so you can roll at +4, and Filch is going to try and roll with Quick to see if he can get around in time to notice who was throwing Mrs. Norris.
+4, so that's 6.
And Filch only gets a +3, so you guys toss Mrs. Norris, and just as Filch is turning the corner, Mrs. Norris latches onto his face, giving you guys enough time to turn and flee in the opposite direction.
Yes.
All according to plan.
And in a contest, when you succeed with style, you get 2 victories. But Filch isn't going to let you guys quite get that far ahead of him, so he's going to spend a fate point, and he's going to invoke his aspect, nose like a magical bloodhound, is going to bring his score up to a 5. So you still succeed and you're still able to run away from him, but you only have 1 victory instead of the 2. Does that all make sense?
Yes. All
right, so you guys need 2 more to win. He needs 3 to win. So he currently is trying to rip Mrs. Norris off of his face, but in the gentlest way possible so he doesn't hurt his beloved cat. So what would you guys like to do?
What did we do with the cloak of invisibility?
We still have it because we were gonna cover the body with it.
What if we throw it at the cat?
But what about the body?
Yeah, you're right. I just think the idea of the invisible cat would be fun.
If we were to throw it over us, would it fit over group?
I'm going to roll a luck check for us because we know that, like we've seen, it seems to have some sort of expanding property. At some points, it's just big enough for Harry, and at some points, he's got his friends under there with him as well. So I'm going to roll a flat luck check. If it's positive, then you can fit group inside. If it's not, then you can't.
Fair enough.
It is a flat 0.
What does that even mean?
I'm going to say that you can fit group inside of it, but only if he carries both of you.
Okay. Groupie, pick me up.
All right, alley-oop. All right, and you too, Greya. Okay.
Thank you.
That was the sound of the cloak.
All right, so let's have you guys roll then with sneaky to see if you can avoid getting spotted. What are your sneaky approaches?
+3.
You get 0.
+1.
All right, so Greya, you get a +1 from January. Unfortunately, group's not sneaky enough to give you that bonus, but you can roll with +4, and Filch is going to roll with clever to try and find you.
It's +5.
Ooh boy, Filch got a +1, so he's going to spend a fate point to re-roll that. Even though he can't see you, he's going to try and sniff you out.
Dang, Filch.
And he gets a +3, dang it.
Ooh.
That means you guys getting a +5, he getting a +3, that is success with style. So you guys get 2 more victories, bringing you up to 3. So Filch, he finally pulls Mrs. Norris off of his face just as you guys like squeeze up against the wall underneath the invisibility cloak, and all of the lights suddenly go dim and it zooms in close on his face, and he's looking left and he's looking right and he's creeping towards you. He's got his lantern in one hand, he's got Mrs. Norris under his other arm, and she's growling and like scratching at his arm, but he doesn't care because he's on the hunt. And he like walks right in front of you guys for a moment, and then he hears a noise from further down the hallway and he sprints off in that direction, leaving you guys by yourselves.
Guys, Europe is terrifying. That was the scariest thing that's ever happened to me, and I've seen people die now, okay?
He's probably the scariest thing in this castle, and I know about a lot of different things that are inside this castle. He's worse than Snape on some days, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Luckily, Group has these nice tree trunk arms, so we can hold us both up.
Okay, guys, truth time. Are you guys weirded out that I have a really high voice for a troll?
You know, I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but I always imagined y'all to be more of like a bass 2.
I don't know. I'm just one of those trolls that just has an abnormally high voice. I don't know. It just is part of my charm. But I just wanted to make sure that you're all cool with it because no one said anything.
No, that is part of the charm.
I absolutely think it's part of your charm, and I think it's very sweet. And I give you a little peck on your cheek.
I shouldn't be seeing this.
My Lanta. Well, I have just gotten the source of bravery, so let's go.
All right, let's get them teachers fired.
Yeah, still, like, it's most of the students are either outside enjoying their time off or up in their common rooms eating pizza. The teachers are off goodness knows where, so it's pretty quiet and pretty empty in the hallways for the most part.
All right, I feel like we can get to Mad-Eye's office pretty quick. Let me just double check. That guy's still there, right?
You open up the Marauders map, and yep, you see Barty Crouch is still outside Moody's office.
Does anybody know anything about this Barty guy? Because he could be bad news. I don't know anyone except for like you guys and that one chick who was with me at the cafeteria.
And I tend to know everybody in this place inside and out, and I don't know who Barty Crouch is.
Well, if I remember correctly, Barty Crouch is like police detective type of guy.
I really don't like him now.
I'm wondering if like maybe Mad-Eye maybe found something out and like was like, oh, Mr. Crouch, like come to my office and I'll tell you all about it. And so he's just waiting for Mad-Eye to get there. So maybe they're having like a meeting.
Do we want to approach him or do we want to distract him?
I mean, I don't see why we can't approach him and just figure out what he knows.
Normally, when I meet people, it always goes overwhelmingly good.
Yeah, let's just keep that track record going.
All right, and if all else fails, you can just bring out your magic and just be like, oh, look at this crazy stuff. And then he'll be like, that's amazing. And January, you can just stand there and just be yourself.
I can do a backflip. I don't think I've done it for you guys.
I don't believe you have.
I know how to do a backflip, so I could do that.
I think we can use it for something later that'll be good for.
Yeah, I'm keeping it in my back pocket. All right. Hey, Barney. Barney, it's us.
So you guys go off in search of this Barney guy. You get to Mad-Eye Moody's office, and there's nobody outside of it currently.
Well,
I'll knock on the door.
And as you knock on the door, Greya, you hear this clattering noise from inside. It sounds like pots and pans being knocked over, and you hear footsteps coming up to the door, and it opens up, and you see Mad-Eye Moody is looking down at you, and he's like,
I thought I was gonna get you guys expelled or something. You're still around.
hey, we're just innocent students. We didn't do nothing to you. Yet. Hey, can I talk to you? I have some questions.
and he looks back into his office, and he flicks his wand real quick and says,
Yeah, sure. Come on in. I'll put the kettle on.
Okay.
How long have you been in your office? I thought we stopped by earlier to see you.
Oh, I was just out getting a little nip down in Hogsmeade, and I just got back,
Yeah, sometimes you need a little nip.
Yeah.
I hear that.
I'd like to step behind group where I cannot be seen.
roll to overcome with sneaky. Mad-Eye's going to roll with clever.
+4.
Mad-Eye got a +8.
What?
Jeepers creepers, Mad-Eye.
I mean, he's got that eye. He can see a lot of stuff. And he rolled +4 naturally on the dice. So he sees you, like, trying to sneak behind group, and he's like,
Come on, sit down.
and he just, like, grabs you by your apron and plops you down into a little chair on the other side of his desk.
All right. Okay.
Hey, Mad-Eye, would you like to see some magic?
Roll to overcome with flashy. I'm just going to set this at a flat difficulty. Mad-Eye is not impressed by much, so I'm going to set this at a 5.
I got a 5.
Ooh, so you tie, and he's like,
Fine. What kind of magic do you want to show me, group?
While he's doing that, I want to take the map out. Like, I'm going to try and, like, peek at his office room, because I feel like he got there very quickly.
Yeah, funny how that works, isn't it? So group succeeded at a minor cost with this tie, and so the minor cost is he doesn't fully have Mad-Eye's attention, and he looks down and sees you pull out this map, and he's like,
That's very magical that you're holding there. Let me take a look at that.
Well, hold up. You gotta pick a card first.
Oh, you said you were going to show me magic, and I see some magic. Let's take a look at
Not
this here
that magic. I want to show you mine.
Okay, guys, bail on the magic thing. I didn't want to have to whip this out this early, but hey, Mad-Eye Moody, check this stuff out. And I get up on the desk, and I say, I'm really gonna do it. And then I do a flip. It's my stunt, and it's a pretty cool backflip according to my character sheet.
It is a pretty cool backflip.
What do you think of that, Mad-Eye?
I'm going to roll to see how impressed Mad-Eye Moody is by backflip.
Okay, cool.
He's never seen a backflip before.
Whoa.
Missing out.
So he's not really sure what you're doing, but he is moderately impressed by your backflip.
Now that I've got your attention,
Greya, quick.
anyway, I was wondering the difference between bagged milk and boxed milk.
Mad-Eye says,
I don't drink milk. I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. I can't imagine how horrible that must be for you. And Greya, how's it looking down there?
You take me as a guy that doesn't drink water either, so I don't know.
he slams down another glass of whiskey and he says,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you open up the map and you look at the office and you see, hey, here's Group, here is Greya, here's January, and here's Barty Crouch.
I'll just put it away.
And anyway, that's how I learned that there's actually a difference between America and Europe. So, Mr. Moody, you were talking about how you were going to leave your office? Thune, remember?
I remember.
Group remembers. I remember.
Roll to overcome with Flashy.
Okay.
Since this is teamwork, we can do the teamwork rules again, and you can use groups Flashy to add a +1 to your roll.
Okay.
Mad-Eye's going to roll with Clever.
Cool. I got a 0.
Mad-Eye with his +5 says,
I think you were just talking about how you're about to leave my office, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I think you're absolutely right. We said we were gonna go meet with Dumbledore anyway, so that's probably best we get out of here.
It's now or never. Hey, who has the cloak?
I have it in my fanny pack.
Okay, Greya, distract him for 1 second.
But before we go,
And now I'm going to use my quickness to try and convey in any way, shape, or form for Group to throw the cloak on the floor. And then I want to try and apparate a dead Neville under that.
oh my god.
I know it didn't work out. We got a live cat last time, but I'm going to try.
that's right. I forgot that's what we were doing.
All right, so here's how I'm going to have this work. Greya, you distracting Mad-Eye, let's have you roll to create an advantage for Danuary and see if he can get a free invoke on his attempt to summon Neville's dead body.
Can I have like extra advantage on that? Because I'm trying to ask him about his favorite topic of whiskey.
What do you say to Moody? And we'll see what kind of advantage you might get.
So, before we go, you just mentioned your whiskey, and I don't know if you noticed, I mean, I also have a pig leg, and I've created something really cool with it, and I push a little button so that the hiding spot comes out, and I bring out my flask, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you, the one I've got in here is really low class. That's all I'm able to get at the moment, but I was wondering if you could tell me what is probably the best one that I could get in Hogsmeade, because you're such a big connoisseur, and you just brought it up, so I thought I'd ask before we go.
Yeah, so using your hollow leg stunt, we can give you a free boost on this. Roll to overcome with Flashy.
That's my lowest one. +3.
He also got a +3, and on a tie to create an advantage, you get a boost, but the aspect doesn't stick around. So this is going to be purely a one-use boost for Danuary, which hopefully is all that you need. But yeah, you start talking to Mad-Eye, and he looks at your flask, and a little look of admiration crosses his face, and he's like,
Oh, yes. Well, if you ask me, there's some dead rabbits that they've got down there at Hogsmeade that's pretty good. The Tullamore DEW is pretty good as well.
and he just starts like rambling on and on about his favorite Irish whiskey blends.
Beautiful.
So, Danuary, you get a free boost on your roll to summon Neville's corpse.
Yes!
Let's have you roll to overcome with either clever or careful, your choice.
Okay, I'm going to do careful. And then I'm going to use that fate point I got for making that pun that one time to re-roll.
All right.
Well, I got -3 both times.
Oh, wow.
But I do have the modifier from her.
You have a free boost, so you can use that to re-roll or add 2 to your result.
Okay.
Re-roll.
Yeah, I'm going to re-roll. All right. 2. +2 is the final outcome.
Oh,
Positive 2. All right.
I'm so scared.
So with that, so you've got the cloak out on the ground, and you pull out Wandy, and he's just like,
You know this isn't going to work, Master. Your stupid Dungeons and Dragons blah blah hoobity. Not now, Wandy.
and you give Wandy a little swish, and you see the corners of the invisibility cloak on the ground flutter upwards just a moment, and you summoned Neville a little bit too high, and his corpse thuds down onto the ground in Mad-Eye's office, but it is covered by the invisibility cloak. And instantly, Mad-Eye is like,
Oh, what the goodness blazes. I need all of you to get out of here right now. Right now. Okay.
All right, group, hit him.
And without even thinking, I punch him.
all right. Okay, I guess we're getting into an exchange here.
I guess so. I can't think of anything else.
Man, this was so close to being the first campaign we got through without fighting once, but here we are. So yeah, go ahead and roll to attack with forceful. He doesn't know that you're going for him, so I'll say you can get a free invoke on that. He's going to roll with clever to try and notice.
I'm gonna use that free invoke to add 2 to my roll and get a +7.
He also rolled super high. He also has a +7.
Are you kidding
What
me?
the beans?
I hate this man.
He's a clever guy. He sees a lot of stuff.
Well, I want to use another invoke, and I want to say that I'm aggressively extroverted and add 2 to that and get right into his face and says, "Surprise!" and punch him in the face.
It's a very outgoing punch.
So that brings you up to a +9 against his +7.
How are you today?
So yeah, you clock him right in the face, and he takes 2 stress from that, and he's looking a little bit rattled. Who would you like to go next, group?
I'm gonna say January.
Okay, didn't want to have to do this. I'm going to flip onto him. I'm going to do a backflip onto him.
All right, roll to attack with quick then.
Okay.
And he's going to also try and defend with quick to see if he can dodge out of the way in time.
We got a 6.
Wow, he got a 2. So that is 4 stress.
Middle school gymnastics didn't let me down today.
You like get up onto his desk and you do the backflip, and you just like both toes pointing straight down right into his solar plexus, and he takes 4 stress from that. Holy cow, he is hanging on by a thread. January, who would you like to go next?
I say it's Dead Neville's turn.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, "Send Neville."
Get him, Neville. Never mind. Greya.
Dead Neville uses splash.
It's not very effective.
Not very effective.
But yeah, Gray, what would you like to do?
I'll take the cauldron, any of the cauldrons in the room, and I'll do what I did to my worst enemy and snap it, and it falls on his head.
All right, yeah. He definitely is not expecting one of his cauldrons to suddenly appear in midair above him, so I'll say that can be a sneaky attack.
Yes!
He's going to oppose that with clever to see if he notices.
Greya fights like Villager from Smash Bros, where all of her like attacks are just quote unquote accidents that she's causing.
Gosh.
That's a +3.
He got a +1.
Nice.
Take him down.
So in one exchange, before he even gets a chance to do anything, Greya, what does it look like as you take out Mad-Eye Moody from this combat?
I look at him and I go, "Sit yourself down, Barty." And I snap my fingers and it bonks him on the head and he falls onto his back and he's a little unconscious.
He is a little unconscious, in fact.
A little bit.
And then I'm going to turn to January and I'm going to say, "Get out your little game and call Dumbledore now."
I do just that.
Oh my gosh. The Foley work that Connor's bringing to this show tonight.
Hey, Dumby.
Yes, hello, January. What's shaking?
Oh, not much, but some weird stuff has been going on. Turns out this guy was a cop. I don't know, man. I'm a teenager, okay? Look at this. And I show him. Can you see through this? I don't remember.
Yeah, you pull out the Pokemon Emerald cartridge and put in the Game Boy camera cartridge.
Yeah.
And you point it down at Mad-Eye.
Check it out.
And Dumbledore's like,
It's very pixelated, but he looks incredibly unconscious.
Yeah, he is. We also found a dead Neville in here.
Mad-Eye has been stealing corpses. Okay, that's something we can really use against him.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we just gotta get the other guy now, right?
Tell him to get in here. Tell him to get to the office.
Dumbledore, come here. Come on, Dumby.
Okay, fine. I'm not allowed to apparate within my own school, though I don't know why I made that stupid rule. Give me just a moment.
27 minutes later.
exactly.
That was the coolest magic trick I've ever seen you do, group.
It's called Bob's Your Uncle.
And the door creaks open and you see Dumbledore is like doubled over. He's holding onto his back and he's panting and he's like,
Okay, I came here as quickly as I could.
Check it out.
And I show him the map and I say, "Now look at this. I have me, group, January, you, and looking at that, you'd think, oh, it should be Mad-Eye Moody. Absolutely not. It says Barty Crouch."
It's a cop. It's a rotten cop.
What do you think of them apples there, Dumbledore?
And he is very, very enamored with this map, and he's like, this is an incredibly powerful magic item. I'm going to exercise my role as headmaster of this school, and I'm going to commandeer this map for my own uses.
Oh, Dumby, no. Oh,
Listen, I have spying and plotting to do, and you guys aren't going to get in the way of that.
Oh,
and he folds up the Marauder's map, and he slips it into one of his sleeves.
Well, can you at least comment on what I showed you? Or did you pay attention to that? Or were you just enamored with my map?
You think so little of me, Greya. I heard what you said about this cop that we've got in here, and I don't like it one bit.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Now, you guys go take care of Snape. I'm going to make some bacon up in here, and he cracks his knuckles.
cool.
You just cracked your knuckles so good.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, before we go, Dumby, what does the map say where that grease ball is right now?
Yeah, that's kind of why we got the map from Harry Potter in the first place. So if you really want to get mad at someone, you can get mad at him.
Yeah, he pulls out the map, and he scans it for a moment, and he says, yes, here he is. And he points to the map where you see Severus Snape's footprints, and he's like zigzagging across the hallway. Looks like he's like hiding behind pillars every once in a while. And you look further up the hallway, and Cedric Diggory is walking along that hallway.
Oh, no.
Oh no, he's about to kill Cedric. Let's go. We have to protect the star boy.
Yeah. All right, Dumbledore, we're going to get on this quickly. And I wink at him.
And he says, very good, very good. You let me take care of all of this, and go get that hacker and bring him to justice.
Justice.
Groot, pick us up. You have bigger feet. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
I put Greya in my fanny pack, so she's kind of like just sitting out there.
It's like a little kangaroo.
Yeah. It's a hammock-sized kangaroo pouch for Greya.
Cute.
Be careful, there's live animals in there.
I think I killed your spider on accident. Sorry.
It's all part of the plan. All right, let's go.
And you guys go rushing up to the hallway that you saw Snape in, and you peer slowly around the corner. Group's head appears up top, and then Danuary's below his, and Greya's below Danuary's. All of you peeking around the corner, and you can see Cedric is walking by himself, just kind of strolling down the hallway. He's got what appears to be a book in his hands that he's reading as he's walking, and you see Snape is like watching him, and when he sees an opening, he like does a little spy roll over to the next pillar, over to the next statue, and he's slowly tailing Cedric.
What do you think we should do? He's definitely like on the prowl to kill.
Guys, I really should go to class more often. I feel like there's a spell or something that could help us out here. I don't think we should kill him. I'm a kid. I don't want to deal with those moral implications.
Yeah, and I think by association, I can't go back to jail. So let's do something different.
All right, so we're not going to kill him.
Maybe we could be like, oh, Cedric, could you sign this for me? And then one of us could sneak up behind Snape and like knock him out.
Yeah.
Did anybody grab the cloak of invisibility?
It's in the fanny pack.
Oh, you did grab it. Okay.
Yep, I always grab it and put it in the fanny pack.
So one of us could take it, throw it over ourselves. The other two could be like, oh, Cedric, could you sign this for me? Oh, what are you reading? Oh, you did so good at the slug eating contest. And then the other one just goes up to Snape and is like, and knocks him out.
Yeah, we can knock him out. So you're the sneakiest, if you want to try that.
I'll try it.
All right, group, you and me are on Cedric duty.
Cedric duty, all right.
Engage plan, knock out Snake, go. Cedric, baby! It's your favorite outcast.
My name's Group Cedric.
And he turns around to look at you, and as he turns, the light catches his hair just perfectly, and it kind of goes into slow motion. You see sparkles go across his face as he turns to see you.
Oh man, talking to this guy is not going to be as easy as I thought. Hey, my name's Beautiful, and you're Danuary.
And Cedric says, hello, beautiful.
Yeah. My phone lets me talk to the principal and play Pokemon. Did you know that?
I don't know what a phone is, and I don't know what a principal is, and I don't know what a Pokemon is.
Oh, Cedric.
I turn to Danuary, I say, this is like probably gotta be the first time you've ever met someone famous, because you seem starstruck, and that never happens to me. Hi, Cedric, my name's Group. I want to show you a magic trick. You start pulling out your magic implements, and let's cut over to Greya.
You notice, like, as your friends go rushing past, Snape, like, gets really, really close up into the shadows behind one of the statues, and he's watching. Looks like he's trying to find a good time to get his way out of there. What would you like to do?
All right, I got the invisibility cloak on me, and I'm like super stealthing up to him. I'm gonna take my Slytherin scarf. I'm gonna take it off and hold it in front of me. And then what I'd like to do is I kind of like to jump on his head. But like I just go crazy and I'm like, and I wrap the scarf around his eyes so he can't see, and I tie it, and I got my arm around his neck, and I'm like, just trying to knock him out.
All right, I thought you were going to try and garrote him with the scarf for a second there.
No, I thought about like being like, you can't talk, but I feel that it's better that he can't. Well, I don't know. I feel like there's really no smooth way to go about this, if I'm being honest, and this is what I got.
We're trying to choke out Snape. That's all we know for certain.
Yeah, go ahead and roll with sneaky to choke out Snape. And I'll say that with your friends helping out with this distraction, we can get some teamwork on that. Well, what's everybody's sneaky?
Mine is 0.
+2.
Okay, so we'll get you a +1 on that roll with the assistance.
It'll be a +6.
+6. Snape tries to notice you with clever, getting a +3.
Hey.
So you come up from behind and you pull the scarf around his eyes, you blind him, and before he can make any noises, you get your arm around his throat, and it's this thin, bony arm. It's like pressing in on his carotid artery and his jugular vein.
Dang.
And you're like starting to cut off some of the blood flow to his head, and he starts kind of like flailing around behind the statue, trying not to be noticed, but he can't see anything, he can't breathe. He's going to try and smash you up against the wall to get you to let go. He's going to do that just with forceful because there's no finesse in this situation. He's just trying to get you off. How would you like to defend against this?
I'm thinking probably it would be best to use quick. I obviously don't want to use quick. I'd rather use sneaky because it's a +3. But I'm thinking he's kind of got to like prepare himself and then throw it back. So he like throw it back. So like he puts himself forward, and then in that brief moment of, oh, he's prepping for this, I'm going to drop down and grab onto his legs to try and prevent him from running away.
Oh, all right.
And see if I can trip him up or something.
Okay, yeah, roll to defend with quick.
Ooh. I'm going to use a fate point to invoke, check that off the list to be like, okay, this one's done. Now move on to the next thing to get him. Does that work?
He's blind, he can't breathe. Now we just gotta trip him. Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
Step 4, discombobulate.
We're just skip for the biscuit. I'm gonna re-roll. Okay, got the same thing. 0 is what I got.
Snape also got a 0.
Oh, yay! Oh, I should have taken +2. Ugh.
So what this means is the attack isn't going to harm you, but Snape is going to gain a boost.
No.
And the boost that he's going to gain is a lungful of air. As you let go of his throat and grab him around the ankles, he breathes in, kind of regains his bearings a little bit. How would you like to retaliate?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to, because I am the sneaky prankster, I'm going to pants Snape so that he extra can't run away, and then I can focus on other things.
Yeah, go ahead then and roll to overcome with sneaky. He's going to try and overcome with quick.
That's gonna be a +2.
Snape also got a +2.
What?
Dang.
Okay, I'm gonna use one more fate point because I really want to pants Snape. I'm gonna make it a +4.
All right, so you pull his trousers on down and he trips, and as he lands, he smacks his face against the plinth that the statue is on top of, and he doesn't appear to have a lot of constitution to him, and he passes out on the ground.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna leave him there under the invisibility cloak, and I'm going to run over and be like, oh, Cedric, my dear, you did absolutely wonderful today. I tried to make the bowl that they gave you of slugs not as bad as the rest.
He turns down towards you, his hair swishes across his face, and you catch a glimpse of the cover of the book that he's holding, and somehow he got his hands on that copy of Twilight New Moon that you gave to the Ravenclaw students.
He's his own biggest fan.
And he says,
Well, I've never seen any of you before here, but I'm very glad to have met you all. Would you like my autograph?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
please.
can find my bare chest.
And he pulls out a magic Sharpie and he signs his name on your chest and he says, "That's never going to come off."
Nice. I'm never showering.
I think that's funny because he said that it was never going to come off, but you're still making a matter of statement. I'm just never showering.
Yeah, no, that's a disconnected thought. I just wanted to also say, I'm never gonna shower.
I'm just never gonna shower.
And Cedric says, "That's disgusting. I'll catch you on the flippity flip."
Bye, Cedric.
And he gives you guys finger guns, but just with one of his hands, gives you all a little wink, and then turns down the hallway and continues reading his book about himself.
Wonderful.
How'd the Snape thing go?
Yeah, so he's unconscious over here. Look. And I bring open the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what we should do from here.
I do. We find a dead Neville. We find some handcuffs. We handcuff them together. We write a note in Snape's
Well,
handwriting.
I was just about to say, with part of my magic act, and I pull out some handcuffs.
Gosh. Well, that's perfect. Let's go to the basement where they keep all the dead Nevilles.
All right. You guys head down towards the dungeons. You pass by Snape's office on the way there, and you eventually find your way to the room where Dumbledore tells you they keep all of the Neville corpses.
All right, book 'em, Dano.
I do. I handcuff them together, and then I drop a note that says, "It was me, Snape.
Dash Snape.
P.S. I killed all the other ones too, and also Mad-Eye Moody did it. Love, Snape." Even though he's already signed off.
And adds a kiss mark to it just for flavor.
XOXO. P.P.S. Don't tell my mom I'm a murderer, please. She'll be so mad.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so with the evidence placed on Mad-Eye and the evidence placed on Snape, we'll fast forward a little bit. You guys back up in Dumbledore's office. He has a tray of butterbeers that he passes around to all of you, and he's wearing a little party hat, and there's like confetti and streamers all over the place. And he's like, "Well, they're both going on trial, and they might get sent to Azkaban. This is one of the best days of my life."
Hey, anything for you, Dumby. Everything went exactly according to plan.
Yes, I'm so glad that I brought you guys on to help out with this. And speaking of...
And he pulls those 3 cards out of his sleeve, the ones that he showed you, the licenses to do illegal things for him. And he holds them out towards you, and he leans in close and he says,
Now about Filch.
and that is where we're going to conclude today's story in the world of Dumbledore's Delinquents.
Yes! Get that filter out of here.
Oh man, this was lots of fun, guys.
We're the Grim Reapers of magic teachers.
Yeah, you are. Man, the more I think about all the people working at Hogwarts, the more I'm like, why does Dumbledore keep hiring all of these creepy people to work for him?
They're insane.
Especially because there's quite a lot of normal people that also work there, so he knows the difference.
Yeah, he's very, very aware.
Like, for every Trelawney, you also have a McGonagall who's very level-headed and knows what she's doing.
Oh yeah. Or who's the pottery plant?
Herbology.
The herbology professor. Emma, who's the herbology professor?
Herbology?
Mhm.
Professor Sprout.
Professor Sprout.
Professor Sprout. Thank you. This is why it's really good that you had her sitting there
Yeah.
while we were recording.
We have an expert in-house.
The benefits of marrying a Harry Potter nerd.
'Tis true a benefit.
Well, thanks everybody for listening to Improv Tabletop, and we'll be back next month with more adventures in a brand new setting. If you want more, go ahead and subscribe, maybe even give us a review. We would be as happy as Dumbledore is now that 2 of his teachers are hopefully going to get fired and sent to jail and get their souls sucked out by the Dementors, if you would go ahead and give us a positive review on the podcatcher of your choice. We're also all over social media at Improv Tabletop, so if you'd like to suggest either a setting for us to play in or an aspect for one of our characters to use, you can tweet about us or comment on one of our posts using hashtag ImpTabSetting or hashtag ImpTabAspect. Let's do a round of plugs. As always, we've got our sister podcast, iCast Fireball, a D&D 5e actual play, and it's a lot of fun. It's been getting a lot of success lately. The numbers have been going up. It's kind of hard to gain traction in the D&D actual play world because D&D is the game that most people are looking for, but people are starting to find it. They're listening to it. They're responding well, and I'm really proud of what Thomas has put together, and I'm glad that I get to be a part of it. So go check that out. Also, speaking of Thomases, I have another Thomas friend who I don't think I've ever actually plugged on the show before. He streams on Twitch. His username there is The Manly Jones. He occasionally streams with Evan. They've been doing some Minecraft stuff together, and it's a lot of fun. He's a really good friend. Go check him out. Twitch.tv/TheManlyJones. McKenna, is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yes, I would like to plug my sweet kitty who is over here giving me kisses and purring into the microphone. And now she's walking away. Not.
Bye, Not.
Goodbye. I love you. On another serious matter, I would like to plug brushing your teeth. I work at a dental office, and it would behoove you to brush your teeth every day because dental work gets expensive because I do the insurance, and it's so silly. So, brush your teeth. Brush your little teethies. Unfortunately, I can't brush Not's teethies because she has none.
She does not.
She does not. So, that is my plug of the day. Brush your nasty teeth, you nasties.
If I recall correctly, I don't think I'm the only person here who Christian has convinced to get an electric toothbrush.
Yeah, no, I had one, and I think it was while I was living with him, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I also have one now.
They're pretty snazzy.
Christian, side note, he was supposed to have a dentist appointment this Saturday. He obviously goes to the office where I work, and he was like, well, I don't want to go. And he's like, every time I go in, they tell me my teeth are great and that I do a great job because he has impeccable hygiene. But he's terrified of the dentist. And anyways, so even if you have great hygiene, you should still go to the dentist every 6 months like you're supposed to. Christian, this is not a shout out to you, but also as your wife, I care about your teeth. The end.
Well, if he listened to Halloween PD, then he has a reason to be afraid of the dentist, you know?
Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
That's fair. That's probably where it comes from. I'll check with him when we're done.
Right on. JP, is there anything that you'd like to plug?
Nothing this week. We're gonna go see Uncharted. Didn't get very great reviews, but we're gonna see how that goes.
Right on.
Well, they got a fun cast.
And if nothing else, you'll get to watch Tom Holland being attractive. And sometimes that's worth the price of admission.
It is always worth the price of admission.
Wee.
Connor, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, I've plugged escapism before, but I want to plug a subgenre of both anime and escapism by talking about isekai for a moment. Isekai is something that pretty much everyone and their dog is familiar with. They just don't know the name or title or whatever. And it follows the basic idea that we have a protagonist who has woken up in some way, shape, or form in a new world, and they have to navigate it and learn about it as we, the audience, do so. It's a template that has been used into the ground and then out through the other side of the planet. However, it's a very cozy template. The newest Pokemon takes a little bit of an approach from an isekai idea, and I've enjoyed that, and I think there are lots of great animes out there. The Rising of the Shield Hero is really good. Overlord is pretty bad, but if you like fast food for your brain, that's one. And He Who Fights with Monsters is a lovely little book series that is an isekai kind of deal. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. And sometimes you just need to let yourself be in a different world for a while.
Another really good one is Wise Man's Grandchild.
Noted.
Good anime.
Dude, I love those isekais where the title of the anime gives away like the entire plot of the anime. Like that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
That one, oh my gosh.
The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Yeah,
The Devil is a Part-Timer is a reverse isekai, and it's the best.
it's so good.
It's where Lucifer, Lord of Hell, gets a job at McDonald's.
I love it so much.
Wow, you convinced me more than Christian has ever convinced me to watch
It's
that.
so good.
He tells me all
It's
the
so
time, you need to
good.
watch Devil's a Part-Timer, it's so good. And I'm like, sometimes I don't like the animes you like.
No, it's fun.
Yeah, everybody go get some weeb culture into your life. It's so good.
Yes.
Well, everybody, thanks for joining us here in the world of Dumbledore's Delinquents. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and I've been joined by...
McKenna Steele, house elf for not hire.
Justin Porter, aka JP, aggressively introverted.
January, you get Daniel, you get January, you smush them together. Also, my real name's Connor Wood.
Much love and stuff, everybody. We'll catch you next week on Improv Tabletop. I love how Barty Crouch is like the wizard prime minister and none of you know who he is.
Wait, he's not the prime minister?
He's the minister of magic.
No, he's not. What? No.
Look, all I know is Tom Cruise is the president of the wizardry thing over in America, okay? So he's my president.
Head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. Okay, I was incorrect.
This never happens. It never happens. I'm correct. Yes.
Oh gosh, my ego really wants to cut this out of the podcast.
My ego doesn't want you to.
It's okay. This is an alternate. This is like a B universe. We can just make Barney or whatever the prime minister. Why not?
This is the book that could have been.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking of Cornelius Fudge. Gosh dang it.
Ah, fudge.